Here we go again.
Welcome back to Donuts in Space and part 10 of the USS Voyager rebuild. We've now managed to get the nacelles and the pylons attached to the fantail. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of room in here. It's really tight on space on the inside, and I tried my best to try and get all of the wires connected and have the wires sort of coming out separately for each of, joined together on the inside, and then just another 2 sets of wires coming out for the navs and the anti-collision lights, etc. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough room to be able to do that, so I've basically had to run the different sets of wires for the different parts really on the inside. Which explains why we got loads of wires coming out. It would have been nice if I could have just had it run down to 3 sets of wires, but unfortunately it's just a little bit more than that. But hey ho, never mind. I've done as best as I can on the inside of that to minimise the amount of wires, and I guess I've got sort of 4 strands less than I did in the last build, so you know that is a bit of an improvement in itself, to be fair. So I'm not going to complain too much about that, but it's not looking too bad. If I switch the lights on, there we go. Unfortunately, we're not going to see too much at the moment because it is the middle of the day and it is really bright. Hopefully at some point, once I got everything done, I might be able to take a good shot of this with all the lights out in the late evening time. I'll see if I can get that done, but at the moment I can't promise anything really, to be fair. But yeah, everything's working fine. We did have a little bit of a boo-boo on this side, just here. I'm not sure whether you can actually see the light leak just down there in the nacelle. Unfortunately, when I was soldering the wires, I accidentally touched the plastic with a soldering iron, and it just took a chunk out. It just melted it, to be fair. But the nacelles, the lights on those are looking really good, and also on that side there as well, and all of the Bassard scoops. Obviously, we got the lights up there for the navs and the anti-collision lights. They're just wired up at the moment, not been put to the circuit board, so they're just static at the moment. Hopefully you can see here and here we've got the impulse intakes. They're looking quite good. There's no hot spots in there at all. And then if we turn it over like so, you can actually there see that we've got the navs and the anti-collision lights on there. And then if we turn it up the other way, hopefully you can see we've got the impulse exhausts there. I've got the photo etch still to add to those, but I'm not going to add that until such time that this whole part is in the back of the engineering section, because I just don't want those to be damaged or knocked off, just in case it starts to bend up the fins on those. But hopefully you can actually see that you've got a nice steady glow there. And there we can see the first of many rooms that's gone in. I'll see if we can zoom in to get in there. I know if I look in there I can see them. If I actually do it the right way, I might be able to get you in there. I'm not sure whether you can actually see in those, to be fair. I mean, I certainly, when I got me head pressed up against the windows, can see the tables and chairs. Thing is, with this one, it's a fairly small room, to be fair, and it's in a fairly enclosed space, whereas the other ones are a bit deeper than this one. So that should add to being able to see a lot more in the engine hull and the saucer section. But again, not looking too bad though. I'm quite happy with the progress on that, to be fair. Let's pan back out again. Wrong way, Richard. Always do that one. So the only thing really that's left to do, well, I say the only thing, there's a few more jobs left to do on this, to be fair. Before I put any photo etch or anything else on this, or before I start taping everything up, I need to get the seam sanded down. I then need to give them a good sort of going over with a putty and get them sanded down again. And then I also, once I've done that, I'll need to then cover everything, all the areas that are lit. I just need to cover up with masking tape, so it's all ready for painting. But yeah, quite happy with the progress on this so far. It's looking quite good, and when I can get this actually attached to the engineering hull, it will actually start to look more like a ship. But until then, I can just hold this in my hand and run around the room with it, making aeroplane noises. But yeah, that's going to be about it for the moment, guys. I will come back to you as soon as I've got more work done to this wee beastie. Got a little bit more work done to this wee beastie. We've got the impulse exhausts put in. If I'm to be honest, they've been a bit of a pain in the backside to do. I've had a bit of trouble fitting them, to be fair. And not only that, because you need super glue to fit these things, as we all know, super glue, it always seems to dry when you don't want it to, and it never dries when you want it to. So yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. And plus the fact, for some reason, on this side we've got more of a gap here than we have on this side, so I'm not really sure what's actually happened there, to be fair, for that to happen. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one, but hey ho, never mind. I might need to take a look at that again and see what's going on. But we've also got the other bits up there. Unfortunately, with the green strawberry kit, you only get enough to do the inside parts of these, where you actually need them on both. You've actually got another set of those that should be on the pylon, and that should be on both sides as well, so you should have another set there and another set there, but for some reason they didn't supply enough to do it, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, really, to be fair, but never mind. We've got most of the we've got all of the squadron putty in place around the big seams. The only ones left to fill in now are the ones around where the warp nacelle fits the pylon. We've got a few little gaps there. I'm not really going to be able to get in there with anything small enough, really, to sand them down with the squadron putty. So all I do is I just use a bit of the plastic perfect putty and use them, and then we've just got a few other little sink marks around the place that just need to be filled in as well. So that's that done. We've managed to get some of the rooms in on the lower section of the saucer. So we've got this big room, which is the, what do they call it again? I can't remember. It's some kind of lounge anyway for the aero shuttle. So we've got those rooms in, and then we've got the other two smaller rooms in on that side, so they're looking good. I'm happy with the way that that's going. I have noticed, however, with the saucer section, the upper saucer section, we've got this row of windows here is for Janeway's quarters, and then this lower row, which will eventually be the upper row when you turn it up the right way, they actually sit right on top of each other, and there's no light actually getting through to either of those rooms. So I'm going to need to put the warm white SMDs in there. Now the only problem is I've only got 3, so I can get one room in. The bottom room I'd only really need 2 SMDs in there most probably. This room, because Janeway's quarters is split up into 3 different rooms, I'm going to need 3. So it does unfortunately mean that I'm going to need to order some warm white SMDs. That's going to take a little bit of time to get in, and also means a few more wires that need to be run around all over the place. But whilst I'm waiting for those SMDs, I can actually get on and get the other rooms in, because the light will still be able to penetrate those rooms anyway. So that's not too bad. We'll be okay with that. The other ones that we can do as well is the ones that are in the engineering hall. We've got the 4 rooms in there. The light will actually spread around those quite nicely, so we can get that sorted out. Plus the fact we've also got the deflector that needs to be masked and painted. That in itself is going to be a task and a half to do. The other thing as well that we can work on is the shuttle bay for the rear of the ship. I can get this painted. I mean, it's already been painted with matte black, so I just need to get the colours down for the walls and the colours down for the floors, etc. Now with this particular part of the ship, if you look online, there are all sorts of ways that the shuttle bay has actually been painted with the markings. So there's never really appears to be one way. And some of the other shots that you can see, they've actually got the shuttlecraft in the way of all the markings. So even with that, you can't really see how it needs to be painted properly. So I'm going to put some markings in there because, well, it's going to need something in there rather than it all being plain. So I think, if I'm to be honest, I might be going for just some simple looking lines, just to make it look as though there's something in there. Otherwise it will look a bit odd. With the lights on the top, I'm just going to use a strip of the clear styrene put up there, and then what I'm going to do is just diffuse the light on that just by using some wet and dry paper, and using that on both sides of the clear styrene, and then I'll just glue that into place, and then that'll give the shuttle bay a nice diffused look as well. So yeah, that needs to be done. So there's still plenty of things I can do, really, to be fair, whilst I'm waiting for the warm white SMDs to come in to do the other 2 rooms. So it's not like I haven't got anything to do. The only other thing as well, really, to be fair, at the moment, is I'm not really going to get much done because there's well, I've been a bit busy this week, actually. I haven't really had a lot of time to sort of devote to modelling, and plus the fact I've got family coming down at the weekend, so I'm not going to be able to do any modelling at the weekend. And then next week is going to be a bit of a busy week as well, because I've got to go down to London twice to the hospital. One to see the neurologist to go through the MRI results, but I know what that's going to say anyway. And then the other one is to have my injections as well the very next day. So I've got to make 2 trips down to London. Yay for me. I hate London. Sorry anybody who lives in London. But yeah, I just don't really like London at all, to be fair. So yeah, I've got to go down there twice in 2 days. So I'm not really happy about that, but there you go, it's got to be done. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, my neurologist will allow me to go back to work. I am actually itching to get back to work. So we just have to see what they say. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to post this sort of Monday, which is what I usually do, or whether I can sort of post it, or whether I'm going to post it sort of more towards the end of the week. I'm not really sure yet. It just depends what happens. We just have to find out. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. So if I post this on Monday, that'd be great. And I'll see you in episode 11, I think it'd be. If not, then I'll read my words and I'll give you an update on what's happening in a little bit.